So it's been quite a few years since I've done a Blogtron, so I'm kind of revamping the series, calling it Blogtron Alpha. I wanted to kick the whole thing off by doing a series of videos on breakups. So much fun! I think it's important to talk about these things and share real, unfiltered, raw advice and stories about things like breakups because it's important to have a discourse that's alternative to the mainstream media's discourse. I want to reach out to people who don't really know how to handle themselves in breakups because that was me. And as I've gotten older, I've realized some stuff that has made breakups a lot easier. So we're kind of shown by media, and it's culturally acceptable to respond to breakups in very negative ways. Many individuals just don't know how to break up with someone, and it gets drawn out, and then it kind of ends up being this horrible fiasco. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It doesn't have to be this horrible, traumatic, dramatic affair. You just have to know, even if you don't feel like it's true, that you are eventually going to get over this person, and it's going to be okay. The faster you accept what has happened, the sooner you're going to be happier. As humans, we like to hold grudges against other humans because somehow we feel like if we can make them as miserable as they've made us, that it's going to make us feel better. But just think, if you're not talking to that person anymore and you're just spending all your time and mental energy thinking about how much you hate them, you're only hurting yourself, even if you're posting passive-aggressive Facebook statuses and song lyrics. You're not gonna make them suffer. So I know this can be hard to hear, but you need to pull yourself out of it. And you need to believe that you have the mental willpower to pull yourself out of it, because you do. My breakup rules of thumb. What has always been true for me is after the first month of a breakup, things get way easier. It makes sense to me too, because the week after a breakup, you can't stop yourself from thinking things like, oh, this time last week we were still together. But after a month, your mind kind of gets worn out of thinking things like that, or at least mine does. And almost without fail, after 30 days, I'm pretty much back to fully functioning again. The hardest part is over after that. And I know that it just flat out hurts and you miss them. But you just have to know that there's so much more out there. And that goes back to another thing that I always force myself to do. Just go to any major news outlet's website and click on the global section. I always feel like absorbing that information reminds me that there are bigger problems out there. And honestly, it just makes me be grateful for what I have. Thank you so much everybody for watching this first installment of Blogtron Alpha. You can look forward to another video soon, and if you want to see that when it comes out, hit the subscribe button. The music that's been playing in the background is Freefallin by Atmosphere. I'll leave you with some words of wisdom from Sean, aka Slug, and I'll see you soon.
And the history you share is full of scars and dents. Nobody likes breaking up when you hate the situation but you crave the touch. You might stay in the relationship for the simple sake of it because you know it's based in love. Free falling when you shook from the pack. Keep walking, let the foot leave a track. We often gotta look for the path. These problems are the good ones to have.